So, people like to say that Empire is the best Star Wars movie ever made. Well, to that, I say no, it's not the best Star Wars movie ever made. It's the best movie ever made. Hello, everyone, and today I'm taking a look at Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite movie of all time. I am not even joking. To me, this movie is near 100% perfect. So, before we get into why I love this movie so much, let's talk about the plot of the movie. Well, the plot is that it takes place after the events of A New Hope, where the Empire is really angry that the rebels destroyed the Death Star, so the Empire tracks the rebels to their base on Hoth, which I like to call Vanilla Ice's home planet, and during the Battle of Hoth, the rebels had to get divided in half. One side is Leia, Han, and Chewie, and 3PO on the Millennium Falcon, going off to run away from the Empire, while Luke and R2 go to Dagobah because Luke was sent there by Obi-Wan's ghost to train with Master Yoda in order to become a Jedi Knight. And also, to all you people who complain that The Last Jedi was just a chase movie, the stuff with Han, Leia, Chewie, and 3PO was also just a chase movie. So yeah, Empire Strikes Back is also a chase movie. I'm sorry, I just had to get that out of the way, but still. Now, what do I think of Empire Strikes Back? I love it! It is literally my favorite movie of all time. I have next to no complaints with this movie, except for one, and I'm pretty sure you know what it is. The Luke and Leia kiss scene. Now, I won't talk about that scene for this video. I'll talk about that scene when we get on to Return of the Jedi next time. So I'll save my complaints for that scene in Return of the Jedi. So yeah. So let's talk about what I love about this movie. Everything is perfect in this film. At the time this video is when this video gets uploaded, this movie is 39 years old, almost 40 years old, and this movie still looks amazing today. All the sets look so good. The special effects look great even today, and every time you see every time I see the Imperial Walkers, they look amazing to me. And the look of the film is just, it looks like a work of art, especially in the Cloud City moments. It just looks perfect. I'm sorry. It just looks perfect. Heck, even George Lucas admitted that there wasn't much to change when it came to the special edition. And when it came to the special edition changes, they worked in a lot of ways, especially when it came to the Wampa scene, where we see the Wampa eating Luke's Tauntaun, and it makes you feel like, oh crap, Luke better get out of there soon before that Wampa eats him. And yeah, this movie is just near perfection. The look of Dagobah really makes me feel like, oh, this looks disgusting. I don't want to be there. And even the puppet for Yoda still looks amazing even to this day. I'm not even joking. In fact, fun fact for you all, during the recording of the movie, Mark Hamill couldn't even hear Frank Oz throughout most of the moments when they were filming. So that's amazing. And yeah, now let's talk about the characters. And this is the movie where they really get a boost, in my opinion, in terms of like their character arcs and everything. Let's talk about Luke first. I love Luke's story arc in this movie. How he went from the hothead kid from the first movie, and I was all like, well, you know what? I just blew up the Death Star, so I'm gonna be that hot shot. And throughout the movie, he has to learn to be patient, especially with Yoda. And he thinks that only a warrior can be a Jedi Knight, but he finds out that the person who was like trying to eat his hot dogs, trying to eat his dinner, this green Muppet guy, was actually Yoda, the wise Jedi Master that Obi-Wan talked about. That's great character, in my opinion, and that's a really good twist. That this cranky old man, the old puppet, is Yoda, Jedi Master. Though we kind of knew that if you watched the prequel trilogy, but still. And I always love the training scenes between Luke and Yoda. They are perfect, and I really love Yoda's explanation of the Force.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. You must feel the Force around you. Here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere. Yes, even between the land and the ship.
Yeah, I really like that scene. Also, because of the stuff on Dagobah, we get probably my favorite scene in the movie. That being when Luke goes to the dark side of Dagobah and he sees Vader. Obviously, that's not the real Vader, but to Luke, it doesn't care. He's like, "Oh, Vader!" And he fights Vader and cuts off Vader's head, and when the head explodes, we see Luke in the helmet. Kind of a good foreshadowing for the twist, and don't worry, we'll get to the twist later. Another character that gets a lot of growth this time around is Han. Now, in this movie, Han gets a lot more character development when it comes to like him being with the group. He is more of a team player, and whenever he's about to leave to go pay off his debt to Jabba, he decides to always come back to help Luke or the rebels. And when he goes to meet Lando Calrissian, he's like, "Hey, it's good to see you, Lando." And I really like Lando in this movie, and people complained that why did Lando sell Han and Leia out to Vader? Well, think about it. Probably Vader said something like, "If you don't get me Han, Leia, and Skywalker's friends, I will make sure to leave to kill every man, woman, and child in the Cloud City." And yeah, I'm pretty sure that was where Lando was all like, "I'm sorry, Han, I had to betray you." And as soon as those doors open, and he sees Vader, Han just doesn't care. He's like blasting the crap out of Vader. He wants to take Vader down, and Vader, being awesome, blocks it with his hand. He doesn't need a lightsaber, he just needs his dang hand. Seriously, Vader gets more awesome the more times these movies go on, and he even tortures Han just for no reason, just to get Skywalker to come to Cloud City. And in fact, here's a fun fact for you. This was originally going to be the movie where Han died. Yep, it was going to be left ambiguous whether he survived in the carbonite because Harrison Ford didn't want to play the character anymore. So, yeah, this would have been the end of Han's arc, of him proving his loyalty to the group. And I'm not gonna lie, if this ended Han's arc, I would be completely fine with it. Don't get me wrong, I love him in The Force Awakens, but still. Anywho, I really love what they did with Han in this movie, and I also really like his dynamic with Leia. They kind of go for the good girl falls for bad guy trope, but it's still a good trope, and I really like their chemistry. And of course, we gotta talk about Darth Vader. This is the movie where Darth Vader becomes outstanding, in my opinion. This is probably James Earl Jones' best performance as Darth Vader. Every scene he's in, he is just a monster. In fact, one thing I really like in this movie is how whenever an Imperial officer fails, he force chokes the guy to death. And I love how one of them gives the reaction of, "Oh crap, I just messed up. Lord Vader's gonna force choke me to death." And yeah, seriously, Vader does not care about these Imperial officers. He's like, "Well, I just killed that officer. Time to send in the new one." Like, seriously, Vader, I think you need more troops, but anywho, you can kill off as many troops you want. I mean, it is your army, but still. And also, I especially love whenever he's like on scene on the planet of Cloud City. In fact, when he blocked the blast from Han and grabs it from Han, he says, "Sit down and have a dinner with us." I'm just like, how did that dinner scene go? And like, it must have been like a pretty awkward dinner scene, especially considering that Vader is there along with Boba Fett. And I really like the part where Boba Fett's all like, "Wait, if Han dies, then I won't get my money from Jabba the Hutt." And Vader's like, "Don't worry, bro. The Empire's got your back. We'll pay you handsomely if Han dies." And then the showdown between Luke versus Vader. And during this fight, we get to see how truly evil Vader is. He knows that he can easily beat Luke and send him into the carbonite chamber to send the Emperor, but he's like, I just want to toy around with Luke first before sending him to the Emperor. And when he has him in the carbonite chamber, he's like, all too easy. And before he pulls the switch, Luke ninja flips out of there, and when Luke is like walking around trying to get out, he and Vader fight again, and Vader has had enough of Luke. He is going to take Luke down and send him to the Emperor, or alive. And during this, he has Luke on his last legs as he chops off Luke's arm. And then we get a wrap-up to Luke's character arc in the movie. You see, throughout the movie, Luke thinks that the Empire is pure evil, that there can be no good in the Empire. But then, this bombshell is dropped on him. And I'm not gonna lie, I can't tell you how good this twist is without showing it. I know you already know the twist by now, but I think it's better to show it than to tell it. So here it is, the greatest movie twist of all time.
No, I am your father. No, it's not true. That's impossible.
Yeah, Luke's reaction always gets my heart pumping because think about it. Luke thinks that his father was a great Jedi Knight, but when he realizes that Anakin Skywalker, the great Jedi Knight, is also the same person as the person who is ruling the galaxy with an iron fist is his father, he freaks out. And I love how he reacts to when Vader says, "Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son." Luke decides he would rather die than rule the galaxy and become like Vader. So what does he do? He jumps off, not knowing if he'll survive the fall or not. And it just leaves me speechless every time I watch it. And of course, Luke survives and gets picked up by the Millennium Falcon, and we end on a cliffhanger for episode 6. And that was The Empire Strikes Back, and is still, to me, my favorite movie of all time. It is a perfect film, near perfection, the greatest movie sequel of all time, and I'm annoyed at the fact that I don't own the movie on DVD. I hope to God I get that movie on DVD for Christmas this year, but still. Overall, The Empire Strikes Back more than earns a 10 out of 10. It deserves my rating of a 10 out of 10. It is a masterpiece, and it is still to this day the greatest Star Wars movie of all time. See you all later as we wrap up the original trilogy with Return of the Jedi. See you all later, and bye.